Okay, so in the next section now, I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of the most commonly used tools by showing you in a live example of making a thumbnail. So on the top, we have a menu, file, and we can do a new canvas. So image, I like to use this drop down. There's a template here, select that and come down. Now this depends on your thumbnail. Do you want to make a 720p or a full HD 1080p? I like to do full HD 1080p because I can use that as a thumbnail in YouTube as well as put it on my blog. But that's not it. We haven't finished yet. Down here, there's an option for advanced options. This is while we're creating the canvas. Click on that. Depending on what you're making, I like to come to this bit here. It says fill with, and it says background color. Currently, the background color by default is black. I don't really want that. I want it to be transparent, and I'll do OK. Okay, so that is our canvas. Now, we need to know a few things. If you're currently using it as a new beginner, that is an option to move. So you can see if you select it, it doesn't do anything, but we need to put something in here to work with. So right now on the right, you'll see I have one layer, which is a background layer, and that's transparent. So let's add something in here to be able to work. So I like to use default colors. In my thumbnails, like I have a standard color. So if I do file and open, you'll see there's some images here I've got which I'll use for this demonstration. So I want to put a picture into here. How do you do that? So file and open as layers, which will open up the image as a layer. And I want to use this image here first. So I do open and it asks you this. I'm importing the image from a color profile because I've created that in another program. You could convert it or keep it. It doesn't really matter. I click keep. So you can see now here I have two layers. Does that make sense? So 1, 2. One is a background, which we created the transparent layer. I've added the new image as another layer. And the reason I added this image is I want to show you what I'm going to be working with and what I'm planning to do. I normally put a photo in there. I clip the photo to get rid of the background. I'll show you how I do that in this software. I put a box and some text, and that's my thumbnail. But firstly, I want to get my default colors. So how do you change colors? So I selected this color here, and there is a little color dipper here. There, I select that. So now I know that my background is that yellow color and the foreground is white. So if you installed the shortcut, which I advised in the installation bit of this process of Gimp, you can press CTRL and backspace and it will fill the current selection with the color you have selected as your background here. You can press X and it switches. So you can see in the little menu there, just here, it's gone white back. So if I was to make white and did CTRL back, it'll be white. If I do X, CTRL backspace, as in delete, it made it yellow. So that's my background. So that was the main purpose of bringing this photo in, to be honest. Firstly, I showed you how to bring a photo in, and now I've shown you how to get the color of your background. So technically, I could delete this by doing delete on the bottom here. So now I've only got my background layer, which was transparent, but now it's become a color. Next, I'm going to add in another photo. So file, open as layers, and you'll see I've got two photos now. I tend to use the photos as, let's see which would be a good one. Let's see, I'm thinking about something or doing that. Let's try that one. So if I do open, use your mouse and scroll out at the same time as pressing CTRL, and that basically brings you in and out of the photo. So now you can see here, this image is too big. So let's grab the move tool, which is the little star kind of thing there. Press on the photo and drag it, so that repositions it. If you press CTRL and T, you can see these boxes up here. So now we can grab these, and if you keep one of the buttons pressed, see that it's kind of doing that. I don't really want it to do that. I want it to stay square. So how you do that is, let's undo that. You can hold down Alt and drag at the same time. So on the keyboard, Alt and drag, and then you can select the move tool again. And if you want, you can check these shortcuts. Let me show you. If I move that here, if I hover over here, you can see that is a W, is it? W. So if I was to come on, I don't know, something else, like let's do that and then press W. Will that work? No, it was probably not W. Is it V? Oh, okay, it's V. So whenever you're on another option, you can use a different shortcut. Like if I press V, it goes back to that, you see? And then, yeah, so I'm kind of happy with that. If I zoom in again, CTRL and zoom in, there is how big I will be. CTRL and T, which is transform. You don't have to use these shortcuts. You can use these little menus here. So you can see there, that's a scale tool. That's what I'm basically using. Hold down Alt and then resize that to make it a little bit bigger. And then I normally press V, which brings me back here. I want to be like somewhere there. So that's me adding an image into Gimp, which I'm going to use right now.